Yo, welcome to another episode of Simply Bitcoin. Like I've been telling you guys, we are transitioning the show to a live show. So because it's live, you're going to see a lot of mistakes, but at least you get the authenticity. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. Michael Saylor, obviously, if you guys haven't been living under a rock, Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, stepped down as CEO. So we're going to check out some articles. We're going to check out some tweets. We're going to talk about the significance of it. Is it noise? Is it signal? We'll get to it in a little bit. But first, I want to give a very special hello to Simply Bitcoin's co-host, the legendary Optimus Fields, that has the strange Twitter handle of My Living Truth. I don't know if one has to do with the other, but hey, I'm digging it.
It's my life philosophy, Nico. It's my life philosophy. What's up, everyone? My hair is a little messed up today. I didn't take the BTC Sessions hair, control this morning, but we are here and we're going to give you guys a show. So shouts out to you guys listening. Shouts out to everyone in the chat. This is going to be an awesome day. Let's get into it, Nico.
Hell yeah. I'm going to say hi to some people that are already in the chat. How you doing, Bacon? How you doing, Lucky? Happy to have you. And, of course, Becca. How you doing? Good morning, Becca. Anyways, let's get to the numbers, shall we? For
number time.
Brought to you by Nodl. They make some of the best Bitcoin nodes, like the Nodl One. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. Remember, guys, if you don't run your own Bitcoin node, you're using someone else's. And now, if you're a digital nomad, you have no excuse, because you could run a Nodl node over a virtual private server anywhere around the world. Visit nodl.eu. All right. At the time of this recording, the Bitcoin price is at 23,290. Sats per dollar, 4,294. Bitcoin block height, 747,825. Reachable Bitcoin nodes. Why'd you do that, Opti?
They like that view better. That's what they were telling me on YouTube. Yeah, they like that view better, dude. What
about this one? Boom.
Ooh.
Boom.
Tell us in the chat which one you like better, guys.
Screen is smaller, but all right. So 747,829. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 13,973. Percentage issued, 91%. Blocks to halving, 92,175. Halving estimate, April 19, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 1,312 Bitcoin. That's around 30 million US dollars. Hash rate over the last 90 days, or 209 exahashes, and the annual mining revenue, Bitcoin's firewall, kind of, $14.3 billion. So anyways, good numbers overall. Today, guys, usually I play a video during the numbers section, but we're going to double down on this concept. And especially, I think this is especially useful for people that are getting into Bitcoin. And I have a lot of people that are getting to Bitcoin that stumble onto Simply Bitcoin, and they've never heard of these concepts. So I'm going to keep doubling down on them, right? Bitcoin is a deflationary currency. That means its purchasing power increases over time. And if you compare that with fiat, fiat is an inflationary currency, meaning it loses purchasing power over time. And I think that this tweet by Documenting Bitcoin really highlights that. In 2012, a medium Bitcoin house is 50,000 Bitcoin. In 2013, it's 19,000 Bitcoin. In 2014, it's 351 Bitcoin. 2015, 901 Bitcoin. 2016, 697 Bitcoin. 2017, 323 Bitcoin. 2018, 24. 2019, 84 Bitcoin. 2020, 46 Bitcoin. 2021, 8 Bitcoin. 2022, 22 Bitcoin. So, yes, some years, obviously it's not a straight line up, it's volatile, but if you zoom out, it's definitely going in a certain direction, right? Anyways, moving on to this. Visualizes it a little bit different. Shout out to Cedric, has an awesome podcast. The Bitcoin Matrix podcast, really cool. I definitely recommend subscribing to it. Anyways, house price in Bitcoin is a good visualization. In 2017, it would be 125 Bitcoin. and today it would be 20 Bitcoin, even with housing prices doubling in the last 2 to 3 years because of all the money printing. With Bitcoin, if you save over a long period of time, things still get cheaper. But it's not only, hold on, yeah. So it's not only that, right? Here is a really good, I think, representation. There's 7.9 billion people, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin. And that number is actually crazy, right? It's estimated that there's between 47,000 and 60,000 millionaires all around the world, millionaires all around the world, but there's only 21 million Bitcoin, meaning if every single millionaire all around planet Earth wanted to buy just one Bitcoin, they physically could not, right? So anyone that says we're still early, anyone that says, oh, Bitcoin is down this year, what the F is going on? What I recommend to them is zoom out, take a deep breath, zoom out. Don't use Bitcoin as a speculation. Use Bitcoin as savings technology, because that is really where Bitcoin shines the most. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts?
Well, I really love that those infographics that you put, because I added a similar one to the meme review. So we are on the same frequency, but also I just want to make a quick point, guys, that if you own a Bitcoin, you are more wealthy than fiat millionaires. So continue to stack sats out there, guys, because we say it all the time. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, and you have an opportunity to get one right now for roughly $23,000. I know that's a lot for most people, but guys, Bitcoin is the most scarce asset in the world. And as Nico is explaining to you guys, it's deflationary, which means your life gets cheaper on the Bitcoin standard. This is the way. This is why we tell you guys to save in Bitcoin. This is why Bitcoin is the peaceful revolution. It unlocks human capital. And that's why we're here, man, to push that message. Let's go, Nico.
Bullish. Anyways, see a lot of people in the chat. They kind of want to talk about what's going on with Saylor. So I'm going to skip it. If you're new to Bitcoin, if you're new to this channel, guys, use Bitcoin as a savings technology. Saylor is absolutely right when he says there is no second best. Anyways, let's get to the news, Opti. Time for
the daily news.
Brought to you by CryptoCloaks.com. They make some of the best 3D printed Bitcoin merch, like the famous 3D printed Bitcoin grenade toy. Comes in any custom color your heart desires. This just happens to be in simply Bitcoin colors or Bitcoin colors. Or what if you like Peter Schiff, like gold? That's right. He makes it in gold. Any custom color. Definitely go check out CryptoCloaks. You can take advantage of the promo code down below to get 5% off. If you're in Europe, the European store is now open. Check out CryptoCloaks.com. All right. So this just came out recently, actually came out yesterday. This is the official press release. Then we'll get to some Nico Jones type of, perspective or opinion. So first, Michael Saylor to assume the role of executive chairman and Feng Lei to serve as CEO, or as also known as chief executive officer. So, Bloomberg article released, and it covers it, in very in depth. So I'm going to read some of it. It's only a 2-minute article. Anyways, MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor gave up his chief executive officer title and said he'll focus more on Bitcoin after the enterprise software maker reported a loss of more than $1 billion. And that's the part that I want you guys to focus on. We're not a hopium channel. We've never claimed to be a hopium channel. We tried to bring you the signal, and optics matter. The way that people perceive things matter, okay? So I'm going to read that last part. After the enterprise software maker reported a loss of more than $1 billion, and that's when Michael Saylor stepped down. Anyways, MicroStrategy president Feng Lei will take on the chief executive role. As global adoption of digital assets accelerates, is becoming an ever more expansive job, and I'm comfortable increasing the scope of my advocacy efforts, knowing that the execution of MicroStrategy's business plan rests in the capable hands of Feng. Now, here's the thing, guys. Is that a positive spin? Because obviously Michael Saylor isn't going to talk about, his company in a negative light, because that obviously would affect stockholders. I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of had a feeling about this. And if you see the episode that I did, it's the interview series of Simply Bitcoin. And I recorded it with James Lavish, Jeff Foss, and Jeff Ross. I was looking at MicroStrategy's stock price. In fact, I think I pulled it up on the show. And I asked James Lavish, is Michael Saylor in trouble here? And I remember what James said. He basically told me, he's like, look, he's been very public about his strategy. So anybody buying the MicroStrategy stock would know what exactly they're getting themselves into. I'm not saying it's correlated, the poor performance of MicroStrategy. Obviously, the whole macro environment is not that great either, right? You know, the Fed did taper off the money printer. And obviously that's going to affect asset prices. Anyways, MicroStrategy took a $917 million impairment charge related to the decline in the value of the Bitcoin it holds. Bitcoin tumbled 59% in the quarter and traded about 45% lower than the price at the end of the year earlier. Revenue dropped to $122 million. Analysts polled by Bloomberg expected revenue to $123 million. Revenue is actually down compared to what analysts predicted. Net quarterly losses of $1.062 billion compared with a loss of $299 million in the same quarter of last year. The quarterly loss is almost exactly twice the company's revenue in the last 12 months. I'm gonna read that again. The quarterly loss is almost exactly twice the company's revenue in the last 12 months. MicroStrategy's original strategy. There we go. Sorry, my tongue got cut up. And consulting business needs full-time attention, said Henry Elder, head of decentralized finance at Wave Financial. Rephrase that. Head of centralized shitcoin finance at Wave Financial. Anyways, now Michael can focus on what he does best, promoting Bitcoin, and the company could focus on making more money to buy more Bitcoin. They're basically doubling down. I like that perspective. It's an optimistic perspective. But I'll say this, guys. Michael Saylor made his bet. There's no pulling back. So he has no other option but to move forward. And I'll say one other thing, and I tweeted this when we had the initial price going down in Bitcoin. Everyone has to pay their dues. At the end of the day, Michael Saylor, even though he has a lot more capital to invest, Opti and I, we've been in Bitcoin longer. We've paid our dues. We've survived the bear market. I got in 2016. I think Opti got in 2017. Saylor got in 2020, right? So he's just starting to pay his dues. And what I tell everybody is you got to survive a full cycle. A full cycle in Bitcoin, roughly there's a halving every 4 years. You survive a full cycle, then you start to feel the benefits regardless of when you got in, right? So yeah, Michael Saylor is still paying his dues, and that's why he's down on his Bitcoin investment. But the reason there's just so much noise around this is because the amount of money he was able to put into Bitcoin, and on top of the loans that he was able to successfully leverage his company to get more loans, right? To have more purchasing power to buy even more Bitcoin, right? That's why it made such a big boom, right? It was headline news. But at the end of the day, you guys have to understand something. Michael Saylor and El Salvador and Nayib Bukele are still paying their dues. Both those guys are going to look like absolute geniuses 4 years from now. Well, they really have 2-3 years left, right? They're going to look like studs. And I think that's when you're really going to start to see other public companies go in. Perhaps you'll start to see other nations, right, start putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, start making it legal tender. But right now, they look stupid. And the reason they look stupid, remember, when you first started your Bitcoin journey, unless you timed it exactly right, that's not most people, you look stupid. Whether that was to your girlfriend, whether that was to your family, they are still paying their dues, and that's all right. Anyways, as of June 30th, the carrying value of the company's 129,699 Bitcoins was did he do that 699 on purpose? That's funny. Was 1.988 billion, the company said, reflecting the cumulative impairment loss of 1.989 billion. The cumulative amount is now more than Bitcoin on the company's balance sheet. So, very, very tough article by Bloomberg. Anyways, I'm not going to give it one side, obviously. I'm going to, be neutral here and try to cover both perspectives. This is Saylor's tweet. By the way, he's right on this. Says, since adopting a Bitcoin strategy, MicroStrategy has outperformed every asset class and big tech stock. And here's a really good visualization that Saylor posted. Said, since MicroStrategy adopted a Bitcoin strategy, its enterprise value is up 730%. And MicroStrategy is up 123%. Performance of Bitcoin is 94%, S&P 500 23%, Nasdaq 13%, gold down 13%, bonds down 14%. So, in a way, his strategy seems to be working. But anyways, here is George Gamon. He's a pretty big YouTuber. I think he has like 400,000 subscribers. And I really had the same initial reaction. The reason for that is the Saylor stepping down as CEO, I was questioning it leading up to this. I was like, dude, like he technically put his company in a pickle with this Bitcoin bet. And because it is a public company, perhaps there's a lot of pressure. And I think George asked a really good question. He says, how does buying more Bitcoin require focus? Right? And he's questioning the Bitcoin Magazine. Shout out to our friends at Bitcoin Mag. The Bitcoin Magazine tweet that says MicroStrategy's new CEO said that they won't be selling Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is now focusing on the company accumulating more Bitcoin. Well done. And George says basically something that I asked, like, wasn't he doing that anyways? And then he goes on to say, just went over this quarter's numbers. I'm no accountant, but minus Bitcoin looks like the business basically broke even. Has 60 million in cash and debt service payment of 13 million quarterly. If I owned this business, this would make me very uneasy. Did anyone else review the numbers? Look at gross profit versus OPEX minus Bitcoin paper loss. Business made no money to service debt. If that continues, the debt service will be paid from cash, but the 69 million won't last long. Not sure how it plays out if they have to start selling Bitcoin to cover expenses. Look, I might not have billions of dollars like Michael Saylor, but I'll tell you something. Once you start selling Bitcoin to cover expenses, it's a terrible freaking feeling. You never want to be put in that position. So obviously for our audio listeners, George has a really great screenshot and he covers the breakdown of the numbers. So if you're listening to the video, you could see it. If you're listening to the audio version, we always put our sources down in the link description. But from what I'm seeing, I think George is right. And again, at the end of the day, MicroStrategy is a public company, so they have to be transparent with their numbers. Now, all that being said, let me address the title of the video. Does this affect Bitcoin? If you're a hodler, absolutely not. Honey Patrick does not care. Could it affect Bitcoin in the short term in terms of price? Absolutely. Especially if this downturn isn't done yet. Especially if we visit the 15, 14, 13, 12K region again. Definitely more pressure mounting up on him. We know that he lowered down his margin call. But look, at the end of the day, like all of us Bitcoiners, we go all in. Right? I've been all in for a very long time now. Opti is too. We burnt the ships. There is no turning back. Michael Saylor did just that. And he put his company's future behind the future of Bitcoin. Him stepping down at this time looks very bad from an optic perspective. And will this affect the price? Look, if MicroStrategy capitulates, get ready to stack some cheap sats. I don't think they will because they've burnt the bridges like the rest of us. There is no going back. He put his reputation on the line. He put his company's future on the line. Do I believe his reasoning as to, yes, I'm stepping down to, deal with convincing more public companies to adopt Bitcoin, use Bitcoin? 75%. That's my opinion. You're not going to hear that from another Bitcoin channel. They won't tell you that. But that's Nico's opinion. So yeah, this is interesting stuff. He's paying his dues. He's earning his stripes. This is absolutely normal, especially if you've been in Bitcoin a while. And look, if he manages to hold on, like everyone, especially if you got into mining the last 2 years, if you manage to hold on till the next halving, 2024, historically the price tends to go up the year after, even though that's not a sure thing. We don't like to speculate. So really, 2025. Michael Saylor, Naeem Bukele, basically anybody that got into Bitcoin now, you will be greatly rewarded. How do I know that? Because it's happened every other goddamn cycle. And the way that Bitcoin is designed, it's a binary thing. Bitcoin either goes to zero or it goes up forever. Keep in mind, there is no limit to how much fiat money can exist, right? There's no limit to how much dollars can exist. But there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. So yeah, I think Newt Svan has that great meme, 21 million divided by infinity. Anyways, Opti, I think Michael Saylor is sweating, brother. You think he's sweating? What's going on over there?
Well, we know what Michael Saylor thinks.
What's the second best? There is no second best.
So I don't think Saylor is sweating in this regard. I would go with what you're saying. I think this is more of an optics play that, the company lost on paper a lot of money, and they have to definitely make it seem like they aren't as wrecked as they are maybe. So I see this, I thought this was bullish because I like the meme of like Bitcoin brain drain is real. So if Michael Saylor is no longer the CEO of MicroStrategy, maybe he will be able to do a lot more Bitcoin evangelism and say a little more of what he actually believes, because he's not the head of the company. He doesn't have to deal with all the, the red tape of being a CEO of a big company. And so I think this is going to be bullish because, he's a great evangelist when it comes to Bitcoin. But like you are saying, it definitely doesn't look good for the company. I checked out the stock price and hey, it kind of looks like a shitcoin. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a shitcoin being traded. So it's obviously doesn't look good if you are a shareholder or someone in charge of this company, because, no one likes to lose money. And even though most of the shareholders were on board with the initial mission of Bitcoin, everyone gets tested, like you're saying, Nico. So if they weren't prepared to go through a full cycle and now they're feeling the pain of losing money on paper, they got to do something so that they can do a PR spin on this. And maybe this is what it is, maybe not. I honestly, this is not my forte. All I can say is, man, as someone that is going all in on Bitcoin, I think this is going to be bullish, because if Saylor comes out hard and just starts doing some real deep diving down the rabbit hole Bitcoin evangelism, like, it's going to be so bullish for everyone. But also, hey, I don't know exactly what's going on over there at the company. I am just a Bitcoiner, an everyday Bitcoiner that sees a billionaire buying Bitcoin. And of course, we're always just thinking, just pump our bags, baby. There's not too many billionaires here. So would it be bad if he capitulated? In the short term, yeah, we would get cheap sats. In the long term, I don't think it really matters. Honey Badger don't give AF. So we shall see what this does for the public perception of Bitcoin, because obviously the normies out there, if they see Michael Saylor capitulate, it's not going to do good for the story that we tell about Bitcoin and what we believe. And like we said, we're not here to speculate about the price, because we know 21 million Bitcoin, there's 7.8 billion people. Just do the 11th grade math, and the more people stack sats, the more number goes up and freedom goes up with it. So does this matter? Probably not. Is this noise? It kind of feels like to me. It
does matter if you're trying to. It does matter if you go against our advice and not stay humble, stack sats, and take it into cold storage.
I think that's the
main point. If you're trying to trade it and all that, this will affect you. But if you stay humble, stack sats, take it into cold storage, long time preference, you literally have nothing to worry about. But anyways,
Nico, I think, hold on, before you go, I think this, just to add to your point of stay humble, stack sats, Guys, do you remember how he got all the Bitcoin? It was a lot of leveraging of debt, and we tell you, the individual, to stay humble, stack sats, because you don't want to get in this position eventually, guys. So just a little tidbit for us average Bitcoiners out there. Do not over leverage yourself, guys, because it doesn't feel good, even if you know where the price is going. Sometimes you get overly bullish, and you got to sell Bitcoin when you don't want to, and you don't want to be in that position.
Exactly. So I'm going to read, there was so much signal in the comments. I'm going to read some of them. This was Abe. He says, he's not trading his position. He accepts the volatility. Nobody buys an absolute bottom. His risk management is absolutely fine. Look forward to his increased advocacy efforts. That's a very positive spin, my dude. At the end of the day, he's down $1 billion, right? Like we all were when we obviously not all of us have $1 billion, but we were down relatively to when we started because, dude, most people don't time getting into Bitcoin correctly. Most people get into Bitcoin when it's in the mania phase, which is why most people get attracted to it. Here is Clout Casino. It says the magic word, kids, is leverage. Lol, it's a bad word. Now World Tacos, he says Gamon is a long time. I'll buy Bitcoin. It falls to 20K, but of course he didn't. Yeah, maybe he's just salty. That's a good point. Here we go. Narwhal Taco, he says MicroStrategy buy, Bitcoin to buy. I don't believe there's any signal here. That sucks, man. Well, I'm sorry. We'll try to do better. Anyways, here is Elaine. Says watch Bitcoin Mag Saylor output with the new CEO, CFO in chair of the board and chief. And we got Tuck TV guy says, I'll take cheap sats all day. Gotta build right now. Awesome. And here we got Dewan Tisson. He says he has a business network. That's the pleb. That this pleb does not. It's true. Michael Saylor has that machine behind him. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the next piece of news. Let's check it out. Again, it's noise, but if you break it down, it really signifies what we've been saying, right, over the last couple of weeks, guys. Remember, we are number one source for the Bitcoin revolution. We are going to try to break down and cover government's futile attempt at maintaining control and power over their people through having a monopoly on money and controlling people through monetary policy. Anyways, let's check this out. And before I do this, I'm gonna preface this with a quote from a must-read book for Bitcoiners and something that I'm gonna keep referencing as Clown World continues. Anyways, since it will become obvious that information technologies facilitate the escape of sovereign individuals from the power of the state, the reaction to the collapse of compulsion will also include a neo-Luddite attack on these new technologies and those who use them. That being said, check out this article. UK crypto investors should limit holdings, financial regulator says. Investment in assets should be capped with consumers warned that they could lose all their money. Remember, guys, they are taking advantage of the recent downturn, the recent blow-ups by those shitcoin companies. And here comes the state saying it's for your protection, but we want to cap you with the amount of wealth that you could escape inflation with. Just very similar language. Remember, connect the dots, guys. This is happening everywhere. Remember what Elizabeth Warren said about the 401k. Elizabeth Warren basically wants to say, listen, you're not allowed to invest in Bitcoin. What is she afraid of? What is the UK Financial Conduct Authority really afraid of? In the beginning, I used to have a benefit of the doubt. I used to say, look, maybe they just want what's best for us. But Max Kaiser has this amazing day. He says, Bitcoin exposes the egomaniacs. Bitcoin exposes everyone's incentives, and these governments, these politicians are no different. We want people to be able to invest with confidence, understand the risk involved, and get the investments that are right for them, which reflect their appetite for risk. That sounds so nice. You're like, oh, these people have our back, right? Of course, when the bull market's going on, crickets. You don't hear anything from them. Then they're kind of focusing on it's for terrorism, it's for money laundering. Anyways, we got Solomon. He says, F the FCA. Anyways, Where we see products being marketed that don't contain the right risk warnings or are unclear, unfair, or misleading, we will act. And this is what we say, that the shit coins, man, and their projects and all the scams give Bitcoin a bad name. Anyways, the signal is literally in the last paragraph. Qualifying crypto assets are one, likely to be appropriate for consumers as a small part of a diversified portfolio, should only be accessed when consumers understand the risks involved. The document said adding the exposure should be limited to 10% of net assets. It's actually really funny because in Russia, everyone was celebrating. It's like, oh, they're passing regulations, but one of the regulations is limit the exposure that people can get to Bitcoin. They tried to implement capital controls. It was stuck at 3,000 in Russia. In the UK, you start to see the same type of bargaining. Governments are experiencing the stages of denial. They don't understand. They don't know how to make this go away, which is why the passage from the sovereign individual is so useful, because it covers what the hell is going on. Since it will be obvious that information technologies facilitate the escape of sovereign individuals from the power of the state, the reaction to the collapse of compulsion will also include neo-Luddite attack on these new technologies and those who use them. Think about the climate FUD on Bitcoin mining energy use. Think about the KYC attacks. Think about the framing, calling hosted wallets unhosted wallets, this vocabulary that was never in the white paper. Yeah, man, this is the beginning. This is the first ending. When it becomes apparent, I'm going to tie this up what we were talking about with Saylor. When it becomes apparent in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years that El Salvador and Michael Saylor made the best move to stop holding fiat, stop holding US dollars, and start holding Bitcoin, that is really when the propaganda machine of the nation state starts to get turned up to another level. How do you protect yourself against that? It's very simple. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody, run your own node, try to trust as little people as possible. Trust, when it comes to finance, is a very, very dangerous thing. When you don't have to trust anybody, you shouldn't have to. And now that Bitcoin exists, literally there's no reason why you have some of your wealth in a bank. It absolutely makes no sense. Not only do they make you pay fees, you have to deal with that inflation. Overall, it's a bad deal. Opt out, buy yourself some Bitcoin. Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, first, before I go into my thoughts, guys, to you guys hanging out in spaces, I see your requests. I will bring you up after the show. Keep your questions in mind, and we will go in this once the show is done. Sorry for that PSA, Nico, but they keep forgetting. Anyways, UK regulators are scrambling for control, and we see this not only from the powers that be, the unelected bureaucrats, but also from the legacy media. They are corralling everyone with the idea that you need protection. I really like how you put it, Nico. They have our backs. Like, LOL. I really love that is always the angle that they come at with us. It's like, oh, we need to protect people. This is for your protection. This is for your safety. And we're on the other side as Bitcoiners. Like, the reason we hold Bitcoin is because I don't need your protection. I have a money that doesn't get stolen from by you, the people that are there to protect me. This is why we Bitcoin, to separate money from state. But furthermore, Nico, is this capitulation? I really like how you put it. The 5 stages of grief. It sounds like they are starting to capitulate and saying that Bitcoin should be a small part of a diverse exposure. And furthermore, 10%. What is this, exposure for ants? Like, come on, guys. You already know my view. We are all in. This is the way, guys. Go all in on Bitcoin. Burn the bridges. No, joke. That's a joke, guys. Do what is best for you. I can't tell you what to do with your money. This is just what I do. And it's because we keep saying the same thing, guys. Opt out of the system. The system treats you like a slave. And we are here to separate money and state, because the more you give these people power, the more they will take and the more they want to control you. So What are we going to do? We are going to opt out from the matrix, stay humble, and stack sats. So protect yourself from them and buy Bitcoin. You're muted.
100%, dude. Oof. Let's see, guys. Take self-custody. Let's move on. We got a huge fail, Opti. Opti, it's time for
The Daily Fail.
Brought to you by Swan. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plan, instant purchases, and it's serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. What we advocate for on Simply Bitcoin is dollar cost averaging, and our values align with Swan, right? They incentivize self-custody. They want you to take self-custody. They don't want you to leave it on the app. And they incentivize DCA, right? Which is, in our opinion, the best way to stack Bitcoin without, speculation, whatever. Spread out the risk over a number of days. Swan.com.
All right, guys. So you guys probably know what we're going to go with. But first, before we get into the mega wreck that happened last night, we're going to cover this other mega wreck that happened at the beginning of this week. And I do have this Bloomberg article all highlighted for you guys. So I also will get on the wreck leaderboard because they did a better breakdown in my opinion. But let's go over the Bloomberg article for a moment. And the title is Crypto Firm Nomad Loses Nearly $200 million in Bridge Hack. More than $1 billion has been stolen in bridge hacks this year. Amazing, guys. And Nomad also, I think this is a funny point that I will add put a pin to the end of this fail. But Nomad has recently raised $22 million in the seed round. Keep that in mind. Let's remember who is investing in this stuff. So Nomad, a bridge protocol for transferring shitcoins across different blockchains, lost close to $200 million. The software system was drains of funds over hours and in small batches by various accounts. So they don't know what exactly happening. An ongoing investigation is happening, and Nomad's goal is to identify the accounts involved and get you your money back. Yes. So, personally, guys, I'm not the biggest shitcoiner. I don't even care about shitcoins. I'm a Bitcoiner. So I highlighted this, like, what is a bridge? Bridges are softwares that enable different types of blockchains and their respective shitcoins to interoperate rather than work in silos. So, to convert one type of coin into another, a bridge service will typically wrap a shitcoin so that it can operate on another blockchain. The bridge will need to hold reserves to back the wrapped coins, creating a huge pool of tokens for hackers to target. Yes, honeypots. The complexity of bridge software can lead to errors and make them vulnerable for exploitation. Security offered at Polygon says, since bridges control huge amounts of assets, it also makes them an attractive target for hackers. Remember this guy's name and what company he's working for. Foreshadow. Anyways, the hack comes days after Nomad got a 22 million seed round by Polychain Capital, Ethereal Ventures, Hack VC, Coinbase Ventures, and Crypto.com. Interesting investors, guys. Next, Nomad's protocol had a software bug that allowed users to withdraw more assets than were deposited in the bridge. So after the initial hack, upwards of 40 other exploiters compromising MEV bots, flash bots, and independent exploiters replicated the attack in a manner that quickly drained the bridge. So as you can see right here, there's a little point at one of the exploiters was also associated with another exploitation. So I got this article over here from Rec News because Rec News is just, they are keeping tally of all the shitcoin fails. So here we go. Let's get into this. It'll get a little technical. I might have to read a little more than usual. But anyways, Nomad Bridge wrecked August 2nd, 2022. So the vultures had a busy night. Nomad Bridge had been torn apart with 109 million of liquidity drained in a savage attack lasting 2.5 hours. And it's the 100th incident of this happening on Rec Leaderboard. Amazing. And I really like this article right here, or this sentence right here, guys. Staying true to DeFi principles, this hack was permissionless and anyone could join in. Once the fatal blow had been struck and the news spread, many began to fight over the scraps. Across-chain bridges continue to be a weak point for DeFi and a juicy target for exploiters. And when they go, it's often a total collapse. And you can see this chart, and it's literally going from 100 to 0, guys. Amazing. So the collateral damage from the unbaked assets is also severely affecting the change that depended on Nomad. Some other shitcoins, Moonbeam, EVMOS, and Milko Media. So this incident is distinct in its every man for himself nature, but many who exploited the bug have declared themselves white hats. Rekt is looking forward to seeing how much is eventually returned. So, as you can see over here, they mention that this is the 5th biggest hack on Rekt News leaderboard, guys. So a big one. So again, here's where the reading's going to happen. I'm going to read some of this stuff so you can get a little more technical of the ideas of what's happening. So following a routine upgrade in June, the bridge's replica contract was initialized with a fatal security flaw leading to the incident. The OXOO address was set as a trusted root, meaning that all messages were read as valid by default. After a failed first attempt costing $350K in gas, amazing, the original attacker's exploit transaction, which was copied by those that followed, was able to call the process function directly without having first proved its validity. The process function is responsible for the execution of all cross-chain messages and has an internal requirement, line 185, to check the validity of the Merkle root of all messages to be processed. However, the upgrade inadvertently caused transactions with a message's value of 0 invalid according to legacy logic to be read by default as OXOO, which was defined in the upgrade as a trusted root, passing the validation requirement as proven. This meant any process calls could be executed as valid. In fact, a more sophisticated exploiter could have written a contract to drain the whole bridge for themselves, and copycat attackers simply copied and pasted the same function. And the incident quickly proved to be a chaotic mixture of word-of-mouth crowd hacking, frantic white hat activity, and MEV bot carnage. And like I said, there's one guy that's connected to another hack, but I think there's a funny quote right here at the end. And it goes, what will the future hold for the ecosystems affected by Nomad's collapse? Apparently, the total value locked on these other shitcoins that are associated to Nomad are dwindling. But this is what we tell you guys always. Look at this comment right here. But nomadic liquidity has no permanent home. Users will always roam to new lands in search of the next big thing and will continue to get stung whenever vigilance becomes stretched too thin. Guys, we tell you this all the time. Stay humble, stack sats. The more you go playing shitcoin land, the more risk you have of blowing up. And this is just a continuous thing, guys. This is happening on like a day-to-day scenario now. And furthermore,
it happens because none of these shit coins and these DeFi protocols, they don't solve there's trust involved. They're not DeFi. You're trusting a smart contract. You're trusting the devs that wrote that smart contract not to add any malicious code or not to make a bug like was just happened here. Like Bitcoin, it's not trustless, but it's definitely trust minimized. God damn it, Opti.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with this camera, boys and girls.
Yeah, we will figure it out. Looks like I'm gonna have to buy you a new one. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, as you can see, sorry. I am messing up this morning.
We gotta go to Solana, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just move on. But like I said, here is the list of investors: OpenSea, Crypto, Coinbase, Polygon, Agli, Gnosis. Guys, avoid these shitcoins. So let's get into this one because it makes an even better point. So we are into the Solana fail. As you guys probably saw on Twitter, it made its rounds last night, so let's just get into it. Solana wallets targeted in latest multi-million-dollar hack. Over 8,000 internet-connected Halt wallets have been compromised so far, but the source of the attack remains unknown. So the Solana ecosystems appears to be the victim of the latest exploit. Has to do with connected Hot Wallets, Phantom Slope, and Trust Wallet. the attack is ongoing. They really don't know what is happening, but I do love the PR spin that they have to acknowledge or at least push forward. So the exact cause of Tuesday's evening's attack remained unclear throughout the night, though it appears to have predominantly impacted mobile wallet users. The attacker somehow obtained the ability to sign, i.e. initiate and approve transactions on the behalf of users, suggesting a trusted third-party service may have been compromised in a so-called supply chain attack. So engineers across several networks have found that the bug isn't connected with the Solana core code, but in software used by several software wallets. The attack was inevitably reignite a long-running debate around the security of hot wallets, which stay connected to the internet at all times in order to provide users a convenient way to send, store, and receive crypto. And I highlighted this little line in here from CoinDesk because I kind of feel like this is a fail in itself in the article, and it goes, cold wallets, USB drives that must be plugged into a computer to sign transactions. Cold wallet is just a wallet that's not connected to the internet, right, guys? Anyways, this is the Solana Labs, or this is a representative from Phantom. We are evaluating the incident impacting Solana wallets and are working closely with other teams in the ecosystem to get to the bottom of this. We will issue an update once we gather more information. The team doesn't believe this is a Phantom Pacific issue at the time. I really love how all these shitcoiners are trying to pass off the blame to someone else. Oh, it's not our blockchain, it's a hot wallet software. But like we tell you guys all the time, if it's in the smart contract, it's not a hack, it's just a bad contract. Anyways, it says that maybe it started with NFT marketplace. Again, they don't know exactly what is going on. And then furthermore, I just wanted to tell you guys in fiat numbers that the estimated damage is over $5.2 million from Solana, with 7,900 Solana wallets being affected. Again, the root cause is unclear, and it appears to be a flaw in certain wallet software rather than in the Solana blockchain itself. And then we have this notorious shitcoiner. They're all saying that maybe it's supply chain issues or someone has somehow acquired access to the private keys. Again, guys, it's not really a hack.
You see how it always happens. It never happens in Bitcoin. It always happens. And they always just come up with fucking just like fiat. It's the supply chains. It's not the government that they printed too much money. It's somebody else's fault. And I actually, one more thing, Opti, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I saw a tweet by, I forget who it was, but it was a great tweet. And it said something like this. They don't care because it's just plebs that are being stolen from. But if the devs got their accounts drained the way that it happened the last 2 days, do you really think the devs would do nothing? And that in itself right there really highlights the fact that this thing is not decentralized. It never was. Remember, they stopped they rebooted the blockchain.
That was the next point, Nico. I'm glad you got there because I had to go down memory lane and doesn't Solana has had more problems in the past? And yes, I like this article. Solana reminds me of my broken earphones. If I had $1 every time Solana was shut down this year, I'd be able to afford a 500 gram of cashews at a local supermarket. That's $8. So it's been down 8 times, and now it's got a critical hack in the smart contracts. And of course, I'm the master of memes, so I have to add some memes into this. We got Samson Mao in here, and he goes, to be fair, they never did say it was secure. Here we go, the Solana Twitter, and it goes, the world's most performant blockchain, fast, composable, green, and globally distributed. Join thousands of developers in building the future of Web3. And just to make a point, guys, this is what we do here. We got to make points so that you guys can get the message clearly. I love this tweet by Matt Odell. Shouts out to Matt Odell. And he goes, thousands of compromised Solana wallets are a good reminder of the importance of cold storage for your savings. If your keys never touch the internet, it is significantly harder to compromise them. Generate keys using well-reviewed open source tools. Store them offline. Sleep easy. Guys, this is the way. This is why we continue to tell you to stay humble and stack sats, because you do not want to get wrecked on a shitcoin like this. It is crazy out here. What a day. What a day. Nico, jump in. I know you're going to have to add some more 2 sats into this. You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, dude, I think you covered it great. Simply Bitcoin live with all the bumps along the way. So yeah, look, man, why is it that it always happens in shitcoins, doesn't happen in Bitcoin? It's really not rocket science. You don't have to dress it up. There's no branding. There's no marketing. You buy Bitcoin, take it into cold storage. That's that. Not rocket science.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, literally. It's simply Bitcoin. That's it. That's all you got to stick to. Anyways, dude, man, what a catastrophe. What a catastrophe, dude. Could you imagine, man, you have your savings just there. You're like, yo, I'm sovereign. Have my money in so-called crypto. And you look the next day, it's gone. What was the point? What was the point? What was the point? So, anyways, thanks, Becca. I appreciate that. Oh, God. All right. That put me in a bad mood. So much failure in one day. It's time for
the Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Citadel 21. It's the best Bitcoin cultural zine. It's stories, articles, comics by actual Bitcoiners. This is the artwork for Volume 10. This is the artwork for Volume 11. And this is the artwork for Volume 2. Volume 2 is almost sold out because there's only 1,000 physical copies made per volume. Guys, get your physical prints of Citadel 21 today before they run out.
All right, guys. I know you're going to love this, Nico. There is no music here, but shout out to Sherlock Hoddled, and he goes, Solana roadmap looking good right now. And for those guys listening, we have a video of, it looks like a drone going over a freaking destroyed highway that is just completely wrecked. You can't drive on it, but yes, Solana roadmap looking good right now. Literally a highway falling off the cliff, the side of a mountain. Amazing. Okay, let's continue on. Again, shouts out to my boy Rope. Oh, before I forget, guys, put your score in the chat and we will review some of these scores before it is over. So, shouts out to Rope. We got play stupid games, win stupid prizes, hashtag Solana hack. And it's a guy on the phone. He goes, yeah, man, I got wrecked by the Solano hack. But it's okay. They will roll back the chain. And besides, Solano 2 is where the real innovation will be. And then his dog is putting a pillow over his head because he is an idiot. Anyways, continuation on the same theme of today. Hodl and don't trade. We got Lena Sishe. She's killing it on these little hodler comic book memes. And we got one little hodler. He's chilling with his Bitcoin. He's got that Bitcoin Zen. He's on the beach. He's got a little margarita. He's just chilling, enjoying the sun. Looks like he's sunning his undergarments or under his undergarments. Anyways, there's this guy stressing out over here and he's trying to trade. He keeps looking at the price. He keeps looking at the chart. Remember, we tell you guys don't look at the Bitcoin price. You just buy every single day. Anyways, we got a little hodler who's got his Bitcoin Zen. He's hodling his Bitcoin. He's just cooking a good meal. He's eating well, making sure he's going to survive. And then we got the dude trading and he's burning his food because he's stressed out, not paying attention to life. He's looking at his phone, trying to get the right trade. And now look, Bitcoiner just sleeping so sound at night because we know that our money is secured. Our money is safe. As long as it's in cold storage, as long as it's not in a hot wallet, your sats will be safe at night. But look at this guy. He's still trading on his exchange and he's sweating. He can't sleep. Remember those days when you were a shitcoiner and you were trading and oh my God, I'm getting PTSD just thinking about it right now. And the last square, we got the little hodler. He's just chilling. He's having a good time. And then we got another hodler. He goes, is your grandpa okay? He looks a bit stressed. And on his trade, you got liquidated. Thanks for playing. And of course, I had to do a little throwback today because Michael Saylor put out a meme. And I think it's just perfectly fitting for us today, guys. And it's Saylor and he goes, Monday morning, it's time to get back to work. And it's a meme of himself working at McDonald's. Now, I'm not saying he's working at McDonald's. All I'm saying is it seems like he's for the culture. He gets it, man. We all say the same thing. We are going to work at McDonald's to stack sats. And hey, man, was this a premonition? Did he know? Has he been talking about this for a while? Maybe he's been looking to exit and go full Bitcoin evangelist for a while. And then, like I said in the beginning of the show, we started the numbers about the deflationary aspect of Bitcoin. And like I always say, sometimes a picture paints 1,000 words. So shouts out to @ChartsBTC, and he goes, Bitcoin on this date, 8/2/2011, $12, 8/2/2012, $10, 8/2/2013, $97, 8/2/2014, $592. I'm not going to read them all, but we can go. 8/2/2020, 11,282, 8/2/2021, 39,543, and 8/2/2022, $23,035. Guys, I'm in Texas now, and this is just reminding me of a two-step dance, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Bitcoin is two-stepping out on there, and number is continuing to go up. And then shouts out to Jose S. Bam in the Simply Bitcoin Telegram group, because he posted this meme by our friend Darth. I think it's Darth Coin. Sorry for butchering your actual Telegram name, but he goes, never let a government to manage your Bitcoins. It will fail always. Never in the whole history of mankind a government did something good for the people. Shout out Darth Coin. He kills it. You guys should check out his Substack. I'll put a good meme up on here soon so you guys can check it out and see what he does. Anyways, Nico, what a day in the memes. And for my meme score, I'm going to pull out my gadgets, and I got this black USB electrical output.
Very good. Apparently it didn't live up to what you were expecting from it.
It was a different one, Nico, a different one.
Rate the meme yourself in the live chat and force me and Opti to read something that makes us feel uncomfortable, or you could just make our lives easier and just rate something normal. For that, I'm going to give it a coral reef thing. Yeah, they always have these in like island hotels, makes you feel tropical.
Nico just stealing meme review scores from the hotel.
I love it because I'm in a new room. There's so many objects around me. It makes my life easy. Anyways, Narwell gives it, I give those a new bridge I created so you can all invest your Bitcoin in those memes. Moon, oops, Bitcoin. Lost. All right, next one is by Becca. My meme score is a set of jumper cables and a car, a battery for rope. Okay, very good, Becca. Wow, very in depth. Opti's dying. I'll give those memes a broken drone sitting on a desk next to me for that Solana roadmap. Okay, good one. And Andrew, a wooden leg. Okay, very to the point. I love the simple scores. All right, next one. BTC pins. I rate those. Oh, yes. I have one.
Shout out Sweet Toshi.
Shout out Sweet Toshi. He'll be back. Next bull. He knew. He left before the bull market. What a legend, bro. All right, next one. I rate those memes Coldcard. Okay. Good scores. But good scores today. Anyways. All right, guys. If you're in the Twitter version, audio version, make sure to stay until after the show. Opti and Jacob from Swan are going to do a host. It's going to be awesome. Join our Telegram group. You could link us some memes to review. It's literally free. The link's down below. You click it. It will take you to the Telegram group. Right there. It's easy. You could link us Bitcoin memes to review on the meme review. But anyways, Opti, I think there was a software release today. Let's check it out. All right, before we get to the software release, I want to give a very special shout out to our sponsor, CypherSafe. Don't be that person that stores their seed on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. Your pets can eat it. Paper is terrible. It can rip. Paper won't last decades and decades. You want to build a dynasty around your Bitcoin. You definitely want to store your Bitcoin on steel. And there is no better place to do it than the Cypher Wheel or the Cypher Grid. Put your Bitcoin seed on steel. It will survive the test of time, water damage, fire damage, all of it. Check out CypherSafe.io. Anyways, Opti, what do you have for us today?
Guys, we have version 5.0 0.6 from CoinKite. There was a vulnerability on the MK4. So if you have the MK4, definitely go update that software. It fixes the virtual disk feature, and it's got a bug fix that addresses some security problems. So again, update to version 5.0.6. Shouts out to the good guys over at CoinKite. We love the Coldcard. Anyways, guys, make sure you guys listen to us on Apple, on Spotify, on Anchor, and of course, check us out on Fountain. If you like what we're doing over here and you appreciate the signal we give you, stream us some sats, and we will continue to do what we do, providing you the value and the fire every single day. Anyways, Nico, let's roll this one out.
Boom. All right, guys, before we go, I want to give a very special shout out. We save it for last because you could literally see what Opti and I are wearing the entire show. If you like the hoodies and the shirts, let me show Opti because he's wearing the shirt. If you like what we're wearing, you could visit representltd.com. Love the merch. He makes Bitcoin stuff too. He's making Simply Bitcoin merch. It's all custom design. It's high quality. I literally wear this everywhere. If you see me in the airport, I will be wearing a Represent hoodie. And it's not because they pay me. It's because I actually find them super, super comfy. So definitely go check out representltd.com. Guys, that was our show. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. I also want to give a very special shout out to our researcher. It helps us a ton with the research. His name is Hans. You can go give him a follow on Twitter on Pleb Signal Bitcoin. Yeah, so definitely go give him a follow. Guys, that was our show. If you enjoyed Simply Bitcoin Live, make sure to leave a like. If you really like the content, make sure to subscribe to Simply Bitcoin. We are your #1 source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. Love you all. We will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode, which we live stream. It's gonna be awesome. See you guys tomorrow.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.